Okay, so wow. Um, this month in AI, right? March has just been absolutely crazy. Like trying to keep up has felt like, I don't know, chasing a rocket or something. It's just mind-blowing, this runaway train of breakthroughs. And that's exactly what we're diving into today, right here, right now. You've been sharing just a ton of updates to so much stuff. And I think our mission for this deep dive is pretty simple. Let's cut through the noise,
Mhm.
like what are the developments that really matter? And what does this all mean for the listener? You know, for you, as you try to make sense of this like rapidly changing world, I mean, we're seeing huge progress across the board. We've got these new models that are showing off serious power. We've got AI becoming so much more efficient, like lean and mean, the rise of AI agents that can practically act on their own, and then this whole wave of tools that are basically democratizing AI development. So much to talk about. Let's jump right in.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's just been so striking this month is just the sheer number of high-performing AI models that have either been launched or received some like major upgrades.
Yeah, it's like bam, bam, bam. Every week, a new model comes out.
It really emphasizes the incredible speed at which this field is evolving.
It does. Take Baidu's Ernie X1 and 4.5, for example.
Yeah.
These aren't just like small incremental improvements. They're actually claiming to outperform GPT-3 R1 and Sonnet 3.7.
Yeah, those are some pretty big names to be taking on.
Exactly. And here's what I think could be a massive shift. They're saying it's available at a hundredth of the cost.
Oh, wow.
Now, to be fair, that's in the Chinese market for now, but you have to wonder, what are the global ripple effects? Like, what does that kind of price to performance leap mean for the accessibility of AI, for everybody and for how competitive the market's going to become?
Yeah, that's a really crucial point. Like if Baidu's claim holds true, on a wider scale, this could be a really significant disruption. It kind of suggests that access to powerful AI capabilities might become a lot more affordable. And that could potentially level the playing field for businesses and individuals.
Yeah.
We might even see this wave of new applications emerge because suddenly the cost barrier is so much lower.
Yeah, I mean, if powerful AI becomes cheap enough for anyone to use that, guys, the possibilities are pretty mind-blowing.
Right.
And then we have Mistral Small. This model has 24 billion parameters, and it's already reportedly punching way above its weight, outperforming models like GPT-3, GPT-4 Mini, even Claude 3.5 High.
That's impressive.
But here's the truly game-changing part. It's open source, under the Apache 2.0 license.
So that means anyone can use it, modify it?
Exactly, which makes it incredibly accessible. They're saying you could even run it on a single RTX 4090 or a Mac with 32 GB of RAM.
Wow.
On top of that, it's got reasoning capabilities. It's multimodal, meaning it can handle different types of data like text, images, and who knows what else speaks multiple languages, has a massive 128K token context length, and it's fast.
So that large context window, that's interesting. What does that mean, practically speaking, for the listener?
Oh, it means that it can process and remember information from much longer documents or conversations.
Hmm.
Imagine you're doing in-depth analysis of a huge report, or you want to have a really coherent back and forth with the AI about a complex topic. That's where a large context window really shines.
So it's not just about being smart, it's about being able to hold a lot of information in its mind at the same time.
Exactly. And it feels like we were just discussing Google's Gemma models, and now we have this huge leap forward in open source performance and accessibility.
Yeah, it's moving so fast. It makes you wonder, what are the implications when a relatively small open source model can suddenly achieve this level of performance?
Right.
I mean, it really suggests that the underlying architectures and the training methods are becoming a lot more efficient.
Yeah.
And the fact that such a capable model can run on readily available hardware, like that's a real paradigm shift
Yeah.
that empowers so many more developers, researchers, even just enthusiasts to experiment with and build upon cutting edge AI. We could see an explosion of innovation coming from all sorts of unexpected places.
That's a really exciting thought. And then we have another contender following that trend of powerful yet accessible models, Cohere Command R. This one packs 111 billion parameters and boasts an artificial analysis intelligence index that's supposedly close to GPT-4o.
Okay.
It's got this huge 256K context window and blazing fast processing at 185 tokens per second.
Wow.
And it's available right now on Hugging Face for both research and commercial use.
That's incredible. It feels like we're getting a new contender every week with these super impressive specs, just accelerating this feeling of relentless progress.
It really does feel relentless, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it's not just about size anymore either. Look at Qwen, for example. This is a 32 billion parameter open source model that's reportedly performing on the same level as DeepS R1 DeepSeek R1, which has over 670 billion parameters.
So it's a fraction of the size but the same level of performance.
Sometimes even better.
Wow.
Yeah, it's being highlighted for its reasoning abilities, and it's showing up strong in those crowdsourced model comparisons. This really challenges the idea that bigger is always better, right? And highlights the impact of specialized training and architectural choices.
That's a really good point. Qwen's performance shows that carefully selected training data and innovative architectural designs can actually let smaller models achieve comparable or even better results than much larger models, especially when it comes to specific domains like reasoning. And that's a really crucial insight because we're always striving for more efficient and cost-effective AI solutions, right?
Right. Now let's get a little perspective here. Let's talk about OpenAI's O1 Pro. It's generating a lot of buzz, mainly because of its very high cost. The idea is that more compute time equals more thinking. But early reviews seem to be a bit more nuanced. Some users are reporting only slight improvements over previous models, and even struggles with some simpler tasks. So it makes you think, is throwing more resources at a problem always the best path forward?
That's a really interesting question. It brings up the whole relationship between computational resources and actual performance gains.
Right.
More compute can definitely be beneficial, but it's clearly not the only factor that determines a model's capabilities. The quality of the training data, the sophistication of the algorithms, and even how we go about evaluating these models all play critical roles. And the initial feedback on O1 Pro seems to suggest that a more nuanced approach to development is really needed.
It definitely seems like there's a lot more to it than just sheer processing power.
Yeah.
And just when you think you've got a handle on the leading models, Nvidia announces these updates to their Nematron family. Nana Super Ultra. The 49 billion parameter version is reportedly outperforming DeepSeek R1.
Hold on. DeepSeek R1, that was considered the cutting-edge model just a couple of months ago, wasn't
About
it?
2 months ago. The speed at which these benchmarks are being surpassed is just mind-blowing.
It really is. It's like a testament to how fast and relentless the innovation is in this field, and the fact that a major hardware company like Nvidia is also actively developing and quickly iterating on their own high-performance AI models just goes to show the intense competition and the constant drive for improvement.
It's amazing.
It is.
Okay, let's shift gears for a minute and talk about another area that's just incredibly exciting. The emergence of AI agents and autonomous systems. There's Manus AI, this framework coming out of China that's generating a ton of interest. What's really fascinating about it is that it doesn't focus on training brand new models from scratch. Instead, it cleverly orchestrates these existing powerhouses like Claude 3.5, 3.7, and Alibaba's models, and integrates them with a bunch of tools that let them interact with the digital world. Think browser control, file system operations, shell execution, knowledge retrieval.
So it's like giving these AI models hands and eyes, letting them actually do things in the digital world.
Precisely. It's all about enabling autonomous task completion through a multi-agent system running in the cloud.
What does that mean for how we might interact with computers in the future? Like, how will our relationship with technology change?
That's the big question, isn't it? I mean, imagine AI that can not just answer your questions, but can actually perform actions on your behalf.
That's a big shift.
It is. Streamlining workflows, automating all sorts of repetitive processes.
It would free up a lot of time and mental energy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it fundamentally change how we work and interact with technology. And if that sounds intriguing, there's OpenManus, a rapidly growing open source alternative on GitHub. This accessibility is key, right? More people can experiment with and contribute to the technology. We're also seeing things like Automate AI, another open source and free option for local automation. It really feels like the building blocks for creating your own autonomous AI assistants are becoming readily available.
It's amazing how fast these tools are becoming available and how open and accessible they are. Like, it really opens up the possibilities for what people can create.
It does. Now, there's PC Agent, a framework developed by researchers in China that's supposedly achieving much higher success rates on various tasks, both for single and multi-agent scenarios. They've got this active perception module that helps the agent better understand its environment, hierarchical collaboration between multiple agents, and a reflection-based dynamic decision-making process that lets them learn and adapt.
So they're focusing on making these agents more aware of their surroundings, more collaborative, and more adaptable.
Exactly. Plus, it's designed to be plug and play, meaning you can use it with different AI models, and it's openly available on Arxiv and GitHub. So it sounds incredibly adaptable and powerful.
The emphasis on active perception and reflection in PC Agent is really interesting. I mean, by actually perceiving their environment and learning from their experiences, these agents can make more informed decisions and handle a wider range of tasks more effectively. And the fact that their research is openly available is huge for the community because it means people can build on these ideas.
Absolutely. And then there's Agent S2 from Similar.ai. This is an open, modular, and scalable framework designed specifically for agents that can interact directly with computers.
So these agents can actually use a computer like a human would.
Think about it. AI that can actually see your screen, click the mouse, and operate within a browser. That's a huge step towards AI becoming a direct participant in our digital workflows. What tasks could we automate with that level of interaction? The possibilities are endless.
That's a big leap forward. Agent S2 really changes the game in terms of how AI can interact with our digital world. I mean, being able to actually manipulate the computer interface like that opens up so many possibilities for automation. Everything from managing email and scheduling tasks to those more complex workflows within specific software applications.
Right, it could dramatically increase efficiency and free us from all that repetitive digital work.
Yeah, it could really change how we spend our time.
It's like all of a sudden, everyone offers AI agent studios. Oracle's one of the latest examples.
Oh, wow.
These platforms provide a whole toolkit for building and managing multi-agent systems. You've got agent templates, team orchestration, features checkpoints for tracking progress extensibility with external tools, and data integration with various language models and platforms, security features, validation processes.
So it's not just about developing individual AI models anymore. It's about creating the whole infrastructure for building and managing complex multi-agent applications.
Exactly. It's like the industry is recognizing that we need more than just individual models. We need this whole ecosystem to support the development and deployment of AI agents that can tackle real-world challenges in a coordinated and reliable way.
That makes a lot of sense.
And even Google is getting in on the personalized agent action with Google Gems.
Oh, really?
Yeah, these are essentially customized versions of Gemini that can act as your own specialized AI assistants for specific tasks. It points towards a future where AI is much more tailored to individual needs and workflows.
That's really interesting. Google Gems really highlight the growing focus on personalization in AI, being able to create custom AI agents that are tailored to specific tasks and preferences could make AI so much more integrated and useful in our daily lives.
For sure. Okay, let's switch gears again and talk about making all of this incredible AI power more efficient and easier to manage.
Sounds good.
We're seeing developments like CH2, this open source large language model inference framework from China.
Okay.
And they're claiming it's 300 times faster.
300 times faster.
300 times faster with 50% less resource usage.
Wow, that's a huge improvement.
What's particularly interesting is that it's designed to run on Chinese-made chips. This focus on efficiency and overcoming potential hardware limitations seems really crucial as these models get more and more complex.
Yeah, absolutely. CH2 represents a vital area of innovation.
Right.
Like optimizing how efficiently we can run these massive AI models. Speed and resource consumption are really critical factors for real-world applications. So a 300-fold increase in speed with a significant reduction in resource usage would be a remarkable achievement.
It would be a game changer.
And the fact that it's designed to run on domestic hardware just highlights the importance of self-sufficiency in AI infrastructure.
Then we have Meta AI, exploring something called dynamic transformers, or dynamic T for short. This involves experimenting with transformer architectures, the foundation of many modern AI models, but without the internal normalization layers. The idea is that this could lead to faster and more efficient models that can be applied not just to language, but also to images and potentially other learning paradigms. Jan LeCun is a very influential figure in AI, has been talking about this, so it sounds like it could be a significant architectural shift.
Yeah, the exploration of transformer architectures without normalization layers, that's a really fascinating area of research. It could really lead to more computationally efficient models, potentially speeding up training and inference. And the fact that a researcher like Jan LeCun is involved definitely suggests this approach holds a lot of promise for the future of AI model design across different domains.
It's exciting to see these kinds of fundamental advancements happening in the architecture itself.
Right.
And for an example of impressive efficiency in a specific area, there's Small DOL. This is a really compact OCR model optical character recognition with only 256 million parameters. But it's reportedly achieving results comparable to models 20 to 30 times larger. That's some serious efficiency for a task like reading text and images.
It's incredible. Achieving state-of-the-art performance with such a small model opens up so many possibilities for deploying these advanced AI capabilities on devices with limited computing power. Things like mobile phones, embedded systems, Internet of Things devices.
We're talking about AI on your wristwatch.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're also seeing advancements in making complex reasoning in AI more efficient. There's a framework called Kodi that uses self-distillation to make chain-of-thought reasoning more efficient and scalable in large language models. Chain-of-thought reasoning is where the AI actually explains its thinking steps, kind of like showing its work, but it can be computationally expensive.
So Kodi is making it easier for these models to explain their reasoning without requiring as much computing power.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This could be key to making more sophisticated AI more accessible to a wider range of users.
Yeah, chain of thought reasoning is really powerful because it lets large language models tackle these more complex problems by breaking them down into smaller, more manageable steps. But like you said, it can be computationally expensive. Cody's approach with self-distillation, where they're basically training a smaller model to mimic the reasoning process of a larger one, is really promising. It could make this advanced capability more efficient and deployable in so many more applications.
It's a really clever approach.
Yeah.
And let's not forget AI2 Almo 32B.
Okay.
This is an open model from the Allen Institute for AI. They're emphasizing that it performs exceptionally well relative to its computational cost. They say it beats many other models for the same flops, which is a way to measure computing power. And what's really commendable is that they've made everything completely open. The data it was trained on, the training process, the results, the whole 9 yards.
That's great for transparency and for the advancement of the field.
This level of transparency is crucial for the field, isn't it? It allows for more collaboration, more scrutiny, and ultimately leads to better, more reliable AI.
Absolutely. AI2's commitment to open science with Almo 32B is fantastic. By making everything so transparent, they're not just providing a high-performing model, they're fostering collaboration, accelerating research, and allowing the whole community to learn from and build upon their work. This kind of openness is vital for the responsible and rapid advancement of AI.
For sure. Now let's talk about making AI easier to use and develop. Google has this new thing called Gemini Canvas, which allows for more visual interaction with the AI, especially when it comes to generating code. It supports Python and JavaScript, and it's like you're seeing the AI's output take shape right there in the prompt interface, though it sounds like it's still a work in progress when it comes to more complex visual outputs like diagrams.
I'm really intrigued by this trend towards more visual and interactive AI experiences. Being able to see and manipulate the AI's output directly within the environment where you're working can really streamline things, especially for tasks like coding or design. And yeah, the fact that it's still limited when it comes to those more complex outputs just highlights how much work there still is to be done in terms of integrating different types of data and creating seamless experiences across those different modalities.
It's still early days, but the potential is huge.
Absolutely.
And for those of you out there who are coding with large language models, there's some great advice going around. 12 rules to vibe code without frustration.
Okay, I like that. Vibe code.
Right. It's a good one. These rules emphasize planning your code, refining it iteratively with the AI, keeping things modular, and rigorously testing the AI-generated code. It's a good reminder that even with these powerful tools, a thoughtful and structured approach is still essential.
These kinds of practical guidelines are so crucial for people who are using large language models for software development. It's about treating the large language model as a collaborative partner and really emphasizing good software engineering practices. By adopting a structured and iterative approach, developers can minimize frustration and really maximize the benefits of AI-assisted coding.
Exactly. We're also seeing this wave of specialized AI coding tools coming out.
Yeah, like what?
Well, there's Kodo, for example.
Uh-huh.
It focuses on code quality through testing and review features. Then there's Codium, also known as Windsurf, which is all about rapid code completion and generation. Both of them offer free and paid versions, showing that there are options for different needs and budgets.
It's great to see this growing ecosystem of tools that are specifically designed to support different aspects of the coding process. Having tools that are tailored to specific tasks, whether it's quality assurance or speed of generation, can really boost developer productivity and improve the overall quality of software.
And for researchers, there's a website called AlphaXCF that's making a big difference by improving access to academic articles. It uses optical character recognition, or OCR, to make those PDF files searchable, and it leverages Claude 3.7 to provide summaries.
So it's like having an AI research assistant that can help you sift through all of that academic literature.
Exactly. It helps us navigate that vast and sometimes overwhelming world of scholarly work. Platforms like this show just how transformative AI can be in accelerating scientific research. By making those academic papers more accessible and providing tools for efficient information extraction, AI can help researchers stay on top of the latest findings and potentially speed up the pace of discovery.
That's really powerful.
It is. And here's an example of local AI that I find really fascinating. In-browser graph RAG powered by Kuzu. This is a retrieval augmented generation system, or RAG for short, where the AI pulls information from a knowledge base to enhance its responses. But what's unique is that this whole thing runs entirely within a web browser. It uses WebAssembly and a digitized version of the Llama model.
So instead of relying on the cloud, all of the processing is happening right there on your device.
That's right. This highlights the growing trend towards local and edge AI and the increasing accessibility of RAG technology.
Yeah, being able to run a complex system like RAG entirely within a web browser, that's a pretty significant technical achievement. It points towards a future where we could have more and more of these AI capabilities running locally on our devices, potentially offering benefits in terms of speed, latency, and data privacy.
For sure.
It also shows how these advanced AI techniques like RAG are becoming more and more commoditized, making them accessible to a wider range of developers and applications.
Okay, let's talk about the infrastructure that makes all of this possible. Nvidia's GTC conference was huge. They showcased some truly mind-blowing hardware advancements, the new Vera Rubin CPU, the Rubin GPU, and an even more powerful Rubin Ultra, all with incredible performance specs.
Those names sound powerful.
They do too, don't they? They also unveiled the Vera Rubin NVL72 rack, which can deliver exaflops of computing power. That's an incredible amount of processing power.
Yeah, I can't even fathom that much computing power.
It's hard to wrap your head around. And they presented their roadmap for future chips like Blackwell Ultra GB300 Rubin and Fryman. And they even introduced the DGX Spark, a more compact and accessible AI development system.
So they're not just resting on their laurels, they're already planning the next generation of even more powerful hardware.
It's like a never-ending race to the top. This rapid progress in hardware is essential if we want to keep up with the advancements we're seeing in AI models.
Absolutely. Nvidia GTC really underscored how important specialized hardware is for driving progress in AI. The sheer power and efficiency of their latest processors and systems are crucial for training and deploying these increasingly complex AI models. And their roadmap just gives us a glimpse into the future of AI computing. It seems like the pace of hardware innovation is just going to keep accelerating.
It's an exciting time to be following this field, that's for sure. And a move that highlights the growing connection between AI and another crucial area, Google acquired a company called Wiz for a reported $3.2 billion.
$3.2 billion. That's a serious investment.
It is. Wiz specializes in data security for data centers, and this acquisition really shows how intertwined AI development and data security are becoming.
Yeah, it makes sense. As AI systems become more prevalent and handle increasingly sensitive data, ensuring the security and integrity of that data and the infrastructure becomes absolutely critical. This acquisition really highlights how these two areas are converging.
It's a trend we're going to see more and more of, I think.
Probably.
Let's touch on the broader AI ecosystem for a moment.
Okay.
Llama, one of those foundational open-source large language models, has hit a staggering 1 billion downloads.
1 billion. That's incredible.
It's a massive number, and it really speaks to the impact and widespread adoption of open models.
Reaching 1 billion downloads is a major milestone for Llama. It shows the huge impact that open source initiatives are having on the AI community, fostering collaboration, driving innovation, and making these powerful AI technologies more accessible.
For sure. And remember those retrieval augmented generation, or RAG systems we talked about earlier?
Yeah.
They're rapidly becoming commoditized.
Meaning?
The cost of implementing them is dropping significantly, and building them is becoming more and more like assembling Lego sets. This ease of use is a big step towards wider adoption.
It makes sense. The easier and cheaper it is to build these systems, the more people and organizations will be able to use them. It's really exciting to see these powerful techniques becoming more accessible.
OpenAI has also unveiled some new AI audio models, including an audio-to-audio model with a really nuanced understanding of sound. And it's reportedly cheaper than offerings from companies like 11 Labs. This just shows how AI is constantly pushing into new areas beyond text and images into these other sensory modalities.
It's fascinating to see how AI is expanding its capabilities beyond those traditional areas of text and vision. These advancements in audio processing open up so many possibilities for creating more natural and intuitive interactions between humans and computers through voice and other audio signals.
Yeah, the potential for more human-like communication with AI is huge.
Right.
And there's also a lot of ongoing research into using reinforcement learning-based frameworks to improve how well large language models can search for and use external information. Projects like R1 Searcher and Search R1 are aimed at making these models much better at leveraging all of the resources that are available on the internet.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, the internet is this vast ocean of information, and being able to tap into that effectively is crucial for making AI more accurate, more reliable, and more up-to-date. Reinforcement learning seems to be a really promising approach for training these models to become more proficient at searching and finding the information they need.
That's fascinating.
And here's a projection that really highlights the incredible speed of advancement we're talking about. Some estimates suggest that AI models are doubling their skills every 7 months, based on their ability to perform tasks with 50% human reliability.
Wow, every 7 months.
If that holds true, the pace of progress is truly exponential and almost impossible to grasp.
That's mind-blowing. I mean, any long-term predictions in a field that's moving this fast should be taken with a grain of salt. But the fact that people are even suggesting that AI capabilities might be doubling on such a short timescale really highlights how extraordinary the rate of progress is right now.
It's hard to overstate the potential impact.
If this trend continues, it's going to transform every aspect of society.
On a slightly different but related note, there are reports of fewer layoffs in the tech sector this March compared to last year.
Oh, that's interesting.
Although, to be fair, the month isn't quite over yet.
Right.
But this could be a positive sign for the job market within the AI space,
Yeah.
amidst all this rapid innovation.
Yeah, it's still early, but a potential decrease in layoffs could suggest that we're moving from a period of restructuring and uncertainty to one of growth and investment.
That would be great to see.
Yeah.
Oh, and just a quick side note. Reports are coming out that China is starting to produce super affordable electric vehicles. We're talking around 13,000 euros through a joint venture between Toyota and Kodi. While it's not directly related to AI, it's another example of these major technological leaps happening quickly in other sectors.
It just goes to show how dynamic and rapidly evolving the technological landscape is right now. There are major breakthroughs happening all around us.
It's an exciting time to be alive. Finally, let's look at some real-world performance benchmarks from those crowdsourced AI model arenas. It's interesting to see Grok holding the top spot for English language queries, with OpenAI models also performing really well. We've got Google's Gemini in the mix. DeepSeek is being recognized as the leading open source model. Chinese models are well represented, and Google's Gemma is showing some strong results.
So we're seeing a lot of diversity in terms of which models are excelling in these comparisons.
Yeah, and it's also worth noting that Claude seems to be performing better on coding tasks than on general English queries in these head-to-head evaluations.
That's interesting. So different models have different strengths and weaknesses.
Exactly. This gives us a snapshot of how these rapidly advancing models are actually stacking up against each other in real-world scenarios.
It's a fascinating glimpse into the current state of the art.
It is. So to sum it all up, this month has felt like a monumental leap forward for AI. The speed of these advancements, the increasing efficiency, the rise of autonomous agents, the tools that are making AI more accessible, it's all converging to create what feels like an unprecedented period of progress.
It's really remarkable.
It's exhilarating and maybe a little overwhelming, but it's undeniably a time of incredible breakthroughs.
I completely agree. The convergence of all of these things, more powerful and accessible AI models, the emergence of truly autonomous agents, and the increasing ease of development, it's a major leap forward in the practical application of AI. And it has the potential to reshape so many aspects of our lives and our work in the very near future.
It's a future that's rapidly approaching. And that brings us to a really important question for you, the listener, to consider. With AI capabilities seemingly doubling at an accelerating rate, what parts of your work and your life do you think will be most affected in the next year? What new skills or perspectives do you need to navigate this rapidly changing landscape?
It's an exciting time, but it's also a time that demands our attention and our willingness to adapt.
It is. It's both exciting and maybe a little daunting. And staying informed is more crucial than ever.
Couldn't agree more.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into what has been a truly transformative month.
It's been a pleasure.